In this video, we'll do our best to inspire you to level up your building and deco skills. Hi all, we are back with our third build and deco episode, and as promised, after showing you some single bedroom ideas, we are this time looking at cool ideas on how to create some immersive sleeping areas with double beds. As with our other videos, it's less about the room as a whole, as this can be done to your own taste, and more about creative ways of placing beds or incorporating the sleeping area into the room. Note that we are only using the base game and DLCs for these builds. No mods are used nor required. We do have a few mods on this server for our convenience, like PP and a building shortcut bar, but nothing that affects what we create. Our good old showroom will serve as a backdrop for our builds, so let's get going. For our first build, we want to create the cube-like look and feel of a typical 4-poster bed, just smaller and without the posts. We are starting with a hatch frame. Anything works, but we decided for storm glass. Then, before placing anything else, we hang a small war banner just beneath the frame. Next, we are placing the bed. The Watcher's bed, which could be obtained as a limited time Twitch drop, has the perfect one foundation width. Now for some lighting. It can be a bit fiddly to find the right spot, but we are placing a red Khitan lamp underneath the frame, as far toward the wall as possible. They might be a little bit bright, but we haven't found a better alternative that would suit the setup, and you can turn them off, of course. We are enclosing the space with 2 folding screens, and you can place the screens fairly close, which looks really nice. Last but not least, some tiny decorations. Keep in mind that you can either drop through the hatch or crouch on the bed to get inside to place or change decorations. That's it, a fairly simple but really cozy space. As you have seen with our single beds, you don't always have to build close to the edges of your room, but clever room dividers allow you to create a dedicated space just anywhere. We start with some walls and a wall cap to map out the sleeping area. Next, we place the regular double bed. You can move the bed slightly into the wall, which creates a really cool pattern on the wall. Let's transform this rather basic design into a real comfy space to relax. The right deco makes all the difference. Oh, and don't forget the back of the wall. Nice! A dedicated space that allows you to change up your room layout. Now, if you like a dedicated sleeping area instead of a room, but want to make a bit of a statement, we recommend building a bed house and not a bedroom, you'll see. We begin with the roof by placing Turanian sloped roofs and sloped roof corners. Next, we use vertical decorative beams. That's right, we're not using pillars here as they would simply not snap in places that would work. To enclose this space a little bit more, we are building two fences. We decided for Yamatai pieces as we aim to build something a bit more elegant this time. Before we place our bed, we add one of these nice little wine racks from the Deco DLC on the back of the wall. Speaking of elegance and Deco, I think we have found the perfect bed. Let's add some lighting and decoration. Don't forget that you can place tiny items like drinking cups or jugs also onto the fence. And that's our house within a house. We hope you like it. As with most of our build ideas, using different materials and decoration can produce completely different results. Here we followed the same house-like concept but used more rustic materials. In this case, the roof is made of ramps and not roof pieces. And instead of decorative beams, we used the stable fence gate frames, pillars and stable fence pillars from the Riders of Hyboria DLC. Our next build centers around the idea of a compact little guest room or annex. We know that not everyone might have had the opportunity to get the Watcher's bed from Twitch, but since it has such a perfect one foundation width, we wanted to use it here. You can of course use any other single bed here if you don't have it. First we build a 2x1 room or a small mini hut. Next we place the bed. A perfect snug fit. Now let's add a shelf with some decorations on the wall behind the bed. Oh right, we need some lights. Next up, a minibar. and some guest storage. Last but not least, a door frame and door. Our guest room is complete. Our next build idea requires quite a big room and is probably our most lavish bedroom today. It makes heavy use of the Deco DLC and is 3 foundations deep and 4 foundations wide. We start by building the framework with stages. These stage corners create some really nice rounded edges. In the empty space in the center, we're gonna place a king's board, the one without the table legs. We do this to create some extra floor height. Once in place, we're going to place 4 king's boards, the ones with table legs, to fill out the space. Some of the boards, let's call them chess tables, need to be placed like we do it here to avoid placement issues later. For the tables closest to the wall, stand on the side and rotate it so that the table legs are on the left and right side. And repeat for the other side. As you can see, this creates a really unique elevated floor space. Next, we'll create a decorative wall with improved planters. This will be somewhat complicated, so please bear with us. We start in the middle with 3 planters. There needs to be a gap between the wall as we want to create a kind of integrated shelf. The gap should be slightly larger than the width of the planter frame. Next, we place another row of planters exactly on top. Now, for the third layer, we push them as far as possible towards the wall in order to create a shelf-like edge in front. You can test to place a metal skull. It should fit barely if you've gotten the distance right. We'll be placing one of those later on. If the ledge is too narrow, you might have to redo and tweak things. Now we place 3 planters on top of each other on each side of our initial planters. You will have to push these planters into the middle planters as we need to leave about 25% of a single chest frame visible on the outer side. For some additional mood light, we place 2 radium wall torches with purple dyes between the outer 2 planters. Try to place them as close as possible towards the planters. Note that they will be rather tricky to access later on. Did I mention this was finicky? Absolutely not. To finish the decorative wall, we place 1 last row of planters on top. Keep in mind that this only works if the 2 radium torches are placed exactly between 2 planters. We will place 2 Aquilonian statues, the ones with the bird, into each outer column of planters. We will also lower them down to our foundation level, as they actually are allowed to clip through our chessboard in this case. We'll show you. As you can see. Okay, the first part is done. Let's add some decorations on the small shelf space, including the metal skull we mentioned earlier. Purple candles work very well here. Now with that done, we can place the double bed. Either in front of the wall or slightly recessed. Nice, it's slowly taking shape. We can now add the finishing touches to our setup. Finally, don't forget to plant something in the upper row of planters. The orange ficus looks great here within the limited space. If you like, you can also add large curtains for some added opulence. I think we're done. Quite a bit of work, but we think it's worth it and looks unique. After such an elaborate and luxurious build, we thought it would be good to end our video with something completely different. A rustic bunk bed. Yes, this is not a double bed, but it is a unique sleeping space for two. We start by building a door frame and wooden frame on the sides of two foundations. Then we build a hatch frame and ceiling on top. This is the framework for our bunk bed. We build two ladders on the wall through the hatch frame. It might be important to start on top to avoid some placement issues. On the right side, we first place an ornate single bed, pushing it as far towards the outer ledge as possible. One of the smaller wall banners serves as a wall decoration. We finalize the top level by placing some smaller decorations. Once done, we enclose the space with plots and fences. Now, let's move on to the lower level. First, we place a carpet. And Funcom, please give us a few more small carpet options. Next, we place another bed and decorate the space to our liking. Look at this adorable Conan Chop Chop figurine. Everyone can craft it, no DLC required. Once we're happy, we enclose the lower level with flotsam fences as well. Oh, we almost forgot it. Place a brazier here for light. Not sure what you're thinking, but we actually love this. Sometimes the most basic building pieces can create the most immersive spaces. And that was our last build and deco idea for today. Keep in mind that it's all about the concept, and if you don't have all the DLC pieces we have shown today, you can build most of it with other materials and add decorations you have and like. Here's a quick overview of all our double bed builds in this video. Feel free to copy any of our designs or simply take inspiration for your own unique builds. We hope you have enjoyed the video, and please do leave us a comment if you would like to see us cover other building topics in the future.